This is the summit of Norway's second highest mountain. And this is me running all out up there with one simple goal: to beat the current record. This is going to hurt. Let's just enjoy this first couple of easy meters before the real climbing starts. Although I had studied this route for weeks, I had no idea how this challenge was going to play out and how hard it was actually going to be, especially since this was my first time summiting this mountain that's called Glacier. The climb to the summit is 9.3 kilometers with 1,372 meters of elevation gain. The current Strava course record that I'm trying to beat is 1 hour, 49 minutes and 40 seconds. I had no idea if that was going to be realistic at all for me, but I decided to pace myself for that time in the first section to give myself a chance to beat the record. Checking my watch here, I see that I have started on a pace that is spot on the same as the current record holder, which scares me a lot because I feel like I'm already pushing really hard up this steep climb. To reach the summit, I will have to fight through 4 distinct parts of this route. The steep start, a technical trail that kicks up immediately and sets the tone for this whole challenge. The valley floor, a more runnable, flatter stretch across the high mountain plateau, where I really need to run fast to stay on record pace. The stone fields, a brutally steep section with really rocky ground at altitude, where the air gets thinner and harder to breathe for every step you take. The glacier push. The final sprint towards the finish on a flatter section with lots of snow along the exposed ridge all the way to the summit. Checking my watch, I see that I'm a few seconds ahead of the record holder's time, which is great, but I'm worried that I pushed way too hard on this steep start. This climb to the summit might only measure 9 kilometers in distance, but with all the vertical gain it is closer to the effort of a marathon than a 10k. And that's what's worrying me a bit right now, because this early into such a long grind, my legs really shouldn't be hurting this much already. But in order to keep pushing hard, one thing I know will make or break this attempt for me is my energy intake. So as you can see, I'm taking a drink right now. This is a super strong sports drink loaded with carbs. I mixed this bottle to hold 180 grams of carbohydrates, and my plan is to take in around 100 grams during the first hour. On efforts like this, fueling and hydration are absolutely crucial, but I haven't trained that much with this high level carbs, so I'm hoping that my stomach holds up and I don't have to pay for this later. First little bit down, I'm feeling okay, but I'm also super worried that I pushed a bit too hard. Gotta pace myself a bit on this upcoming section. Trying to find a sustainable pace, but even though I slow down a bit, it still hurts. But this is what I came for. So beautiful there. Now we're entering a bit flatter section where we have to speed up a bit if I'm going to have a chance. After dialing down the intensity in the last part of the steep start, I had lost some time on the record holder. My watch now showed that I was 30 seconds behind. That was a bit tough to see, but I was still within striking distance, and hopefully saving my legs on the steep section would let me run faster here on the flatter part. This part is for sure flatter, but the trail is still quite technical with rocks everywhere. But I actually really enjoy this kind of trail running. It's such a fun trail to run on. The only thing that was worrying me at this part was the brutal climb that I knew was waiting higher up in the mountain. I think up there is where I'm heading. That looks steep. While I'm running here checking my watch to make sure that I am en route, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this video, Coros. Today I'm using the Coros Apex 2 Pro, which is a rugged watch built for trail and mountain running. And one thing that I really love about all of Coros products is that even though I've had this watch for a while, it still just keeps getting better. because they are really good at continuously rolling out firmware updates to make the watches even better. And they recently revamped their app to make it even sleeker and easier to use, and one of the features they added in the app is these really cool 3D flyovers. What I really leaned on during this attempt is the Strava Live segments feature. It gives me real-time feedback on how I'm doing compared to the segment leader. That turns a solo effort like this into a proper race and makes chasing a record so much more fun. And of course navigation and mapping features are super reliable, which is crucial out here, because if I deviate from the route, the record attempt won't even count. I'm starting to feel the altitude as well here, and now it's just getting steeper and steeper, and of course the steepest part will be at the highest elevation. But I'm actually feeling quite good. I'm feeling surprisingly good. Yeah, I was feeling good at this part, and I had actually managed to catch up and get a bit of a gap on the record holder. I was now 1 minute and 5 seconds ahead. But even though I was 50 minutes into this thing, this challenge had honestly barely started, because now I was done with the nice runnable valley floor part and was heading into not only the steepest part of the route, but I was also entering the high mountain with less oxygen in the air and a terrain filled with just big, endless technical stone fields. This climb is brutal. This climb is brutal. It only seems to get steeper as well. My watch showed that I had lost the little gap I had on the record holder, and we were now even. That fact, combined with this brutal part of the climb, the extreme pain I was feeling in my legs at this point, and the thought of how far there was still to go to the summit, made me lose hope for a moment. But then I made a decision. Stop staring at how I'm doing all the time on the watch, just look at the route, make sure I follow that, and stop comparing, and just focused on getting to the summit as fast as physically possible for me. Because if I can focus on the things that I actually can control and put together a strong final climb and push, maybe I'd still have a chance at that record. I finally made my way through the steepest part of the climb, but looking forward it still felt endlessly long to the summit. It felt like I was trapped in a field of stone and every step was heavier than the last. But with each stride the beautiful summit was getting closer and closer, and that was all the motivation I needed to keep going forwards. I remember the first time I ever heard about this mountain. I was a kid in Sweden working on a school project about Norway. And I remember reading that Glittertind was for a really long time considered Norway's highest mountain. But then the glacier at the summit started melting more and more and finally gave Galdhøpiggen the title by just a few meters. But what I remember most about that school project was an old picture I found of Glittertind. I can still see that picture in my head. That sharp ridge, the snow, the dramatic clouds. It looked so cool. And as a kid already then obsessed with mountains, I hoped that I one day would get to climb that mountain myself. And now, more than 20 years later, here I am. Now living in Norway since many years and running all out up the slopes of that very mountain, chasing a record and finally about to see the summit with my own eyes for the first time. I had finally fought my way through the steep stone fields and it started to flatten out as I reached the last stretch towards the summit, the glacier push. Even though there was still some patches of snow here I had to run through, the glacier that once covered the summit has completely disappeared. Still, seeing the ridge and the summit for the very first time was incredible. With whatever energy I had left, I pushed as hard as I could, hoping it would be enough to beat the Strava record. That was so tough, but also so much fun. I'm surprised though how much energy I have left for the last little flat bit here on the top. But of course I will check if I took the record. But it's pretty cold up here and you can see the fog is coming in over the mountain, so I will get down to safety and enjoy the downhill, and then as soon as I get down I will share if I actually got the record or not. But now let's have some fun downhill. So cue a short little montage. I won't keep it too long. You will get to see the result really soon, I promise. I'm also eager to see, believe me. Okay, so it's the moment of truth. I really hope that I got it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! 1:41:54, that I'm really happy with. So nice to get the record. A huge thanks again to Coros for creating these great watches that makes runs like this even more fun. If you want to check out all of their products, there's a link in the description. And if you want to see me do another high mountain record attempt, you can click here. Train smart, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.